Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be going over the War of Champions info when it comes to the actual War of Champions event itself, the final event with the 100 top factions who qualified over 6 CRWs. This is going to go over the rewards, the structure, and anything in between. We're going to just break it all down. Let's get into the info. So first off, it just says WoC details. Hello survivors. We have seen a number of questions about the upcoming War of Champions, so we're here to address concerns, bring some answers, info, and explain all the rewards. There's quite a lot of sections here. First off, we're going to go through War of Champions region transfers. All members of the top 100 War of Champions qualifying factions will be sent a region transfer key on Monday, February the 14th, 2022 at 4 PM Pacific time. The deadline for qualifying faction rosters to be in place is 24 hours prior to region transfer key delivery, Sunday, February the 13th, 2022 at 4 PM Pacific time. We'll also be resetting those players' region transfer cooldowns to ensure safe passage to the War of Champions region. Only players in the qualifying factions starting on February the 13th, 2022 at 4 PM Pacific time will have the War of Champions region unlocked for inbound transfers. If a player that was once in a qualifying faction is not in the qualifying faction when keys are sent, they will not receive a key. Please note this and take the time between now and then to finalize your War of Champions rosters. On Monday, February the 21st, this will be after War of Champions is finished, War of Champions region players will have the region transfer cooldown reset again, and region transfers will be sent out to players so they can exit War of Champions region. Faction events will continue to be on hold until Thursday, February the 24th to ensure easy passage after War of Champions. Players still in the War of Champions region at 4 PM Pacific time on Thursday, February 24th will be forced back to the region they transferred from. Now, of course, it's going to be up to you how you do this, and I've got no doubt some people are going to probably just stick around in the War of Champions region to just get a freebie transfer key and get pushed back to the region they were in before. I have zero doubts that this is going to happen. This is pretty much standard, and they have broken it down really well in terms of when things are going to be locked in, you know, when you have to get everything sorted out. So all the information is here. It's pretty much on you and your faction. One thing to note is you will have to transfer your faction to War of Champions. Otherwise, your faction will effectively disband and you'll lose your league standing as a faction and so on and so forth. So make sure your faction leader transfers the actual faction to the new region, not just them as an individual. The next section is collusion. We have a zero tolerance policy in place with regard to collusion when it comes to War of Champions. What is collusion in War of Champions? Farming or feeding points purposely by repairing repeatedly with lowered or dropped defenses to help another faction move up to a higher rank, repairing one camp at a time and chaining repairs in order to stall out a team and slow their progress. Our team will be monitoring scores of players and factions to make sure the integrity of the competition is maintained during our War of Champions. Action will be taken on an account that is found to be involved in these actions during War of Champions. Now, historically, there have been a lot of players banned after War of Champions based on stuff they've said in global chat, based on a lot of things, but never on the actual gameplay itself. So we could be seeing some short-term 24, 48-hour bans or something come in, and it could be real quick. So like if there's evidence that you've done it, you could potentially get a 24-hour ban on the War of Champions weekend itself. Not worth the risk at all. Now, there is some information when it comes to rebuilding in War of Champions, and there's going to be some major changes here from what people would be kind of used to. The 15-second first repair will be in place for War of Champions, which is what everyone's come accustomed to. To take a step toward preventing the collusion mentioned above, we'll be dramatically increasing the cost of skipping the timers with coins to repair to 4 billion coins. To be perfectly clear, we do not anticipate anybody will pay this cost for a single repair to a single camp, nor do we recommend it or want anyone to do so. Yeah, I mean, not recommended, guys. Like that one camp gets repaired twice is going to be very questionable. It is purely a step we can take in the right direction towards preventing an issue that may interfere with fair competition during War of Champions. We have also extended the second rebuild time to 30 minutes, so every player in War of Champions will have the same playing field when it comes to rebuilding in War during our championship round. I'm pretty sure the second rebuild time is the 4 billion coins, so I don't think that's really ever going to come into play, I would assume. But this is, I think, just to stop people from like doing some issues which have popped up in the past where you can farm on purpose. People were willing to spend thousands of coins just to get tons and tons of points in a war where they've colluded effectively with another faction, and they can, in like the space of one wartime, they can get like 5 or 6 war points in, and the factions are very closely, you know, matched a lot of the time. They're just, you know, buddies basically. This has happened in previous wars, and I think this decision has come in based on previous actions in previous wars. So if you're disappointed with this, I think you should probably look back to when this was kind of exploited in the past. And you just know that when something is removing the option to spend coins, i.e. spend money, that Scopely have definitely put a lot of thought into this. And they do seem to hold the War of Champions competitive integrity quite high. And while this isn't the greatest choice, I think it's pretty much one of the only choices they could take if they did want to take this action right now. Maybe there's going to be some changes in the future to make repairing, you know, come back in some way. We'll have to wait and see. But it doesn't mention that this is going to be outside of War of Champions. So when, you know, normal CRWs come back, you can coin to your heart's content. Now we'll go over the War of Champions rewards, and it says below we have listed the War of Champions rank rewards, milestones and missions. In addition to these previously mentioned rewards, 1 times War Veteran Mythic Romanov. Delivery details below, we will check out that in a second. I will be able to show you the visuals of that character again. You'll get 5 Paragon mods as well. And again, we'll look into the delivery details in a second. And also 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place War of Champions avatars. We can see the avatars right here. And you can see the gold one on the right-hand side is going to be the 1st place. The silver one's going to be 2nd. And the bronze one is going to be 3rd. Now, I have seen already some people talking about the fact that if you're going to War of Champions and you're not coming top 3, you're not going to be able to get one of these avatars. And that is 100% correct. And in the past, people have been able to get like a, I think it's like an iron version, effectively like a steel version, not like gold, silver, bronze. But it was one for hitting like a random milestone. I think it was like 50k in the past. I can't really remember. And it was more of just like a memento. This still does exist to a certain extent, and that is going to be the limited edition version of Romanov. And this is the War of Champions edition of Romanov. This is exclusive to people who do actually qualify for War of Champions, just like the previous avatars. And if we go into my roster here, you can see that the avatar does look different than the default Romanov. You can see the default Romanov is at the top, and the war specific one is just below. And then if I back out once more and I go down here, you can see that this is what the avatar looks like when it is equipped. So you can see it's got the war logo across the top of the actual Romanov itself. This is the one for everybody. And then you've got the top 3 that are in there currently. Now, I can totally understand if that's still not good enough for some people, because they obviously would have wanted this special avatar, and I can get it. But that's pretty much, I think, what Scopely's going for. If you want the one that's exclusive to War of Champions, it's Romanov. If you want to get one of these 3 here, you have to come in the top 3. Now, there are going to be a couple of things coming in for the winners of War of Champions. Some of these have been previously announced, like the weapon here, but one of them has not, and it's going to be actually pretty interesting. Here we have the 5-star weapon named after the 1st place War of Champions faction. More information about stats and delivery to come before War Season 4. For now, here is a sneak peek at the base weapon art, and it does look really cool. I'm guessing this is going to be for like Typhoon, because it's a dragon. It looks like a dragon on a pistol. But who's an alert character on Typhoon other than the character that already has a weapon? Does that mean potentially the 5th character could be an alert character too? I mean, I know it's going to be named after the faction that wins. So if the faction that wins is called the Odyssey, let's say, I don't know if there's a faction called that, but it would be maybe called the Odyssey's Savage Pistol, something like that. I do believe as well the only people who will have a chance to actually purchase this item are people who actually went to War of Champions. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think maybe the 1st place faction also gets given this weapon for free, but also potentially the option to buy a 2nd one if they so wish. I'm not actually sure on that section because I don't think it's covered here. And if I go down to the next section, the Hall of Fame Museum feature for the winning faction, I think this was maybe talked about a little bit. I'm not 100% certain. We are also excited to announce an addition to the War of Champions rewards, and it is the 1st place winner of War of Champions faction's name will be featured on all Season 4 war maps as a tribute to the last season's champion. This is actually really cool, and you can sort of see this art here. This is a concept art, but it's like a normal war map, how it's kind of set up, and then you might have some like placards or something set up in the background with the faction's name. It'll be cool. I think they could definitely make this look really nice with logos of the faction. You know, every faction has their own specific logo that they can choose, and they could put banners around the map as well. That'd be kind of cool, just showing that. I think that's a really nice little feature and a little nice cherry on top. It doesn't really affect anything, but it is kind of cool. Now, it does go into War Veteran Romanov on further detail, and it says War Veteran Gold Mythic Romanov will be acquired via museum collections in the War of Champions region only. Players will first claim the free bullet chain necklace offer in the shop, which is needed for the museum collections. The museum collections will require various levels of upgraded Romanov and offer the War Veteran copy as a reward, along with the resources needed to reach that level of upgrade, including more than the required XP trainers, silver mythics, food, materials, skill trainers, as well as all the copies of Romanov used in collections requirement progress. So if you've got, let's say, a Limit Break 2 Romanov and you trade it in for this veteran version, you'll get the veteran version back plus 4 normal Romanovs, and that means you will be able to take it to LB3. Find the full breakdown of these museum collections listed below, and we'll just check that out right now. We're going to skip through the majority of this, but you can pause if you so wish. The collection one is if you have one fighter level 400 grade 4 gold mythic Romanov, it will be consumed, and also the 1 times bullet chain necklace will also be consumed. In return, you'll get 1 version of War Veteran Romanov and 1 standard Romanov as well, and then you'll also get 85 bennies, 14 silvers, blah 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 blah, lots of good stuff. And then it's going to be the same pretty much as you tier the character up. You're going to get 2 standard Romanovs back for grade 2 or grade 5, effectively having 2 characters. For Limit Break 1, you'll get 3 back, and then just all of the stuff seems to tier up. It might be worth making the character LB2 if you can, and that way you're going to get more out of it, seemingly. And then obviously, if you do have the character LB3 already, you will get 1 War Veteran version of 5 standard versions. You'll just have to sell 1 of the standard versions, and then you'll get 1 guild bit, which you can get 5k gold mythic tokens if you wish. Now, once you've done this trade-in, make sure that you use the actual War version, the rare version, as the character that you're using the silvers to tier up. Otherwise, you're going to run into issues. It is worth noting as well, because you only get 1 of the bullet chain necklaces that is consumed, you're better off going for the highest collection available. I know some people are probably thinking, could I get multiple of these collections and then just get lots and lots of standard Romanovs? No, you can only get 1 of those bullet chain necklaces, and you can only trade that in once. So go for the highest collection, like I say. Me personally, I managed to get Romanov to LB2, so I'll be able to go for collection 4. Now we can look into the Paragon Mod rewards, and this is a big thing when you're going to War of Champions. Players in the War of Champions region will find a series of missions to easily complete and will be rewarded with different Paragon mods. Players will be able to choose the set, attack, death, HP or crit of each rewarded Paragon mod. The full list of the mission requirements and Paragon mods to be rewarded is below. As you can see, you can defeat 20 walkers, and then you will get a choice of an attack Paragon mod. That means attack the actual stat, but you can choose whatever set you want. So you could go for crit set or attack set, very highly recommended. Attack on attack, you could put that on your best damage dealer. For instance, if you just got Titan, you could get an attack on attack Paragon mod. Very nice indeed. Next up, it would be, again, defeat 20 walkers. It's unclear whether you'd have to do 20 more, but it doesn't really make much difference. And then this time it's going to be a defense stat. Again, HP and defense recommended. Next one will be HP. Again, defense or HP set recommended. And then next will be 20 walkers again. And you'll get a bleed resist Paragon mod. This is probably the worst so far. But if you are building certain teams, let's say NWO teams without Jackie, you may need some heavy bleed resist there. So a Paragon mod won't be terrible. And then lastly, the last mod is a taunt resist Paragon mod. And this is very good. This is the only one where it's kind of like, what set should I go for? Should I go for defense, HP, attack, crit, you know? And I personally am going to go for an attacking one, be it crit set or attack set, just because that's my gameplay. Having heavy resist on my own actual like experience will probably be more enjoyable than my defense just resisting a bit more often, I assume anyway. So we have got the breakdown of the actual war itself. It does start on the 18th of February and it ends on the 20th of February, both at 4 PM Pacific time. You can see it's an 8 versus 8 3 stronghold. First repair is 15 seconds, second repair is 30 minutes, retreat timer is 5 minutes, mercenaries 4 max, all available at 5 minutes, max war energy is 8. Then we have siege duration at 30 minutes, attack cooldown at 3 minutes, shield cooldown at 3 minutes. I think this is pretty standard. And then we see the 3 towers. All alert and tough teammates get 20% attack when attacking enemies and strongholds. All strong and fast teammates get 20% attack when attacking enemies and strongholds. All teammates get a huge bonus to AP when attacking and defending camps and strongholds. They are pretty basic, but they all are going to work. So, you know, they're going to enhance your attacks. They're going to effectively enhance your defense as well, potentially with that huge AP bonus. Now, we'll go through the War of Champions rewards themselves, and there are going to be some War of Champions missions where you have to win battles as a faction, kind of what we have had during the season where we got those Season 3 tokens, and obviously, you know, you're not going to get them this time because the season's going to be over effectively, but now you can get some extra stuff. There's going to be a lot of trainers, military supplies, a couple of million military supplies in here by the looks of things, and it's 2,500 battles as a faction, and you're going to get a bunch of gear and stuff on top. This is more just a trickle, little bit of a bonus, but there are going to be quite a lot of Madeleines and Maddox in here. You know, it looks like over 20 of choice boxes, which is actually pretty good. Next up, we have the War of Champions actual rank rewards, and if you come first place, you're going to get 100,000 gold mythic tokens. You're also going to get 30 gear medal choice boxes and 400 steel gear medals. This is obviously going to replace the standard, which is going to be, again, the tokens being able to hand into the grey market. Now, these rewards are kind of basic, and it doesn't look like there's going to be anything specific when it comes to, you know, accumulating something like we have had in the past when it comes to actually getting like a character or something like that. But you are going to get yourself some extra pulls. We can scroll down. You can see second gets 90,000. Third gets 80,000, and it just decreases with each rank. And then if we go all the way down to the bottom, you can see 81st to 100th get 50,000 gold mythic tokens, enough to do 5 pulls. Next up, we have the War of Champions milestones, and they are a bit buffed up over what we would normally get on milestones. There's a lot of silver choice tokens here. I think you can come out of this with like over 20, 30 choice tokens. You can see you're going to be getting 1s, 2s, 3s, and I think it goes up to 4s and so on and so forth. So lots and lots of silver choice tokens. You can also get a lot of war energy refills if you so need. It's going to at least keep you chugging along if you are low on those cans. There is enough to get 1 gold mythic pull if you do get 400,000 points, but it isn't really about the gold mythic pulls here. I think this is kind of just a little bit of a bonus. The silver choice tokens and the war energy, I think, are just the main deal here. Now, if you are not attending War of Champions, there is going to be a CRW for you that you can actually get some stuff out of, and these are going to be the rewards for you and your faction if you get to 2,500 wins, and you are going to be able to get yourself a gold mythic token pull, a bunch of trainers, not as many Maddox and Madeleines or Lilith and Ulysses, but it is going to be quite a lot, and you should be able to get over 1 million military supplies as well by the looks of things. Then we have the CRW weekend rank rewards. Again, if you're not attending War of Champions, first place will get 7 gold mythic token pulls, and then it will skate all the way down to probably like 100 plus, or 81st to 100th will be 20,000 gold mythic token pulls. That's enough to do 2 pulls, of course, and then you get the extra bonuses on the side. And lastly, again, if you're not attending War of Champions, these are going to be the milestones for you. It's going to be gold mythic tokens, gear choice boxes, and war energy refills. It is a bit of a shame there's not too many silvers in here, because I do think the people who are not attending War of Champions are the people who probably need the silver characters the most. Me personally, I'm not that short on silver characters, but I know a lot of people are. So that's it for this video, guys. A lot of information to process. I know there's going to be some things that stick out that you're not happy with, but overall I think this is probably a good step, just based on the fact that Scopely do want to keep the competitive integrity there. You are still obviously going to be able to war. It's going to be a little bit different than what potentially you've experienced before. I know some people do love to coin when it comes to wars, and they do love to get into those coin fights and get those huge battle numbers out. That isn't going to happen this time around, but we are also not going to see the drama that we have seen in the past as well, which I think is way worse. Honestly, it was way worse. Hopefully something comes up that's more of a permanent deal in the future. We'll have to wait and see. But that is it for this video, guys. Do leave me your thoughts in the comments down below. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.